Hey guys, this is Marx with another INDAMIX, and on today's show I have the producer Essie B that's going to be talking about her new track as well as all the other music that she's produced. So let's get it. Alright guys, you're here on INDAMIX and I have got Essie B here with me today in the studio. We're going to talk about her music that she does. She's a producer from East London, so let's get in with you, man. So what's good? How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, it's all good, man. I'm glad you're here. And how did you find the journey up to Birmingham?
Yeah, it was shorter than I expected, but still long, but you know, a good nap, so
no delays on the train, no?
No, and I actually came up by coach.
Wow, you're better than me, man. I refuse to do coach now because my thing is that I say that they don't make coaches for people my height because the legs just cramping.
Yeah.
I'm not on that whatsoever, man. So.
There's ways to finesse, you know. There's ways to finesse.
So like I was saying, guys, she's a producer from East London. Whereabouts in East London are you coming from?
So I'm coming from Canning Town end.
Good old Canning Town.
Yes, but I'm repping Forest Gate. I'm a proper gate person.
Wait, tell us about that. How can you be from Canning Town but you're repping Forest Gate?
So I grew up in Forest Gate and I've lived there all my life. I only moved to Canning Town last year.
Okay.
So, you know, it still ends. It's still East London. There's not far from each other. But, you know, Gate has my heart.
You know what? Canning Town used to be my stomping ground, you know, because I got a lot of friends and family from around there. You know, with the big recreational facilities, they got the big rec ground, where they got the football stage, football kit and all that kind of pitch and stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like we used to be around there all the time, man. So I know the ends. You know what I'm saying? You know the ends, Canning Town Market and all the rest of that stuff. I don't know if it's still running actually.
It is, Canning Town Market's still there.
I see.
Shout out.
You see, I know the ends, man. I know the ends. So I'm gonna give you some props, but then you're representing Forest Gate now, so it's like
whoop whoop. Come on, Forest Gate, stand up.
So we know you're a producer. So like, how long have you been producing music for?
So I would say I've been producing music since I was 14.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. Started in secondary school, did a workshop, and we had to write a song. It was a songwriting workshop, and they said that you weren't allowed to just write a song. You had to also make a beat as well. So they taught us how to make a beat. Luckily, my secondary school, they seem to have some cash, so we had Macintoshes and we had Logic, which is one of the music softwares, and yeah, that's how I started.
Wow. Okay. So like, was music and production something you had always wanted to be in, or was that how you kind of like stepped into it?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I stepped into it. It was not on my mind to be a music producer. I've always loved music, but you know, it wasn't something I thought about doing full time or anything. But as I kept doing it and kept making beats at school, and people seemed to love it, like some of my school friends seemed to like it, you know, my classmates, it just became like a viable option.
Okay, cool. So like 14-year-old Essie B, what genres of music is she listening to?
Oh, mostly gospel because I came from a Christian household and it was a little strict.
Wow, yeah.
So mostly gospel, definitely R&B, definitely some rap songs, hip hop, a lot of pop, a lot of chart topping songs as well. Yeah.
So are we talking about like the Kirk Franklins, the Mary Marys, that kind of vibe?
Yes. Yeah? Yes, fully. Like I was known as like the Mary Mary girl. Like I loved Mary Mary. Still do. And Kirk Franklin like he's a legend.
No, for real, he is a legend. Definitely a big legend there. So in terms of you going into the music production for yourself then, do you remember the first track you ever produced?
Oh. Yeah, I do.
She says, thinking about it.
I'm like, yeah, I do. And you know, it's recorded as well.
Okay.
It's on a CD somewhere at home. I do remember, because again, like, you know, the songwriting works. So we had to write a song. So that is the first beat that I ever made and to a song that I wrote. I do remember it.
Okay, and what about like when you established the Essie B brand? What was do you remember the first track you made under the Essie B brand?
Under Essie B. So I think that was college times.
Okay.
And by this time we didn't have Macintoshes in college. It was not that fortunate.
Yeah.
So I was now using Cubase at the time, and I was getting called Essie just as a nickname in college, outside my full name. So I was just getting called Essie. The B is from my surname, and I was also spending like my lunch times making beats in college.
Okay.
And I think, then there was one kind of beat that I made. I think it was like a hip hop sounding beat. And perhaps that's when I started to brand myself as Essie B.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just lots of instrumentals at the time.
So when you started to do the music then, were you more thinking along the lines of becoming an artist rather than producer then?
I think so. I think I might have been running away from the limelight for a bit. Because I do sing. But I just really liked making beats. It was therapeutic to me. It was just something that I did that I found fun and just really enjoyed doing. So I just did more of it, and it seemed interesting to me as well that I could get like other people to sing on top of it, and other people would make up their own rhymes to like the beats I made. So that was interesting to me. That I found that fun. So I just did more of that than the other things.
So kind of staying on that same topic then, because obviously you said you made music for other people and stuff like that. When you think about all the music you've made so far, was there any one in particular that jumps at you as being your favorite track that you've made?
Ooh, my favorite track that I've made. This is not a long catalogue, to be fair. So if I'm hesitating, it's just because I'm trying to remember what I've made. But it's not a long catalogue. But a favorite one that I really liked. You know what? Some of the ones I've made that I really liked aren't actually out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of made some tunes, you're really feeling them, but you kept them to yourself then. That's what you're saying to us.
It wasn't, it's down to the artist. So, it depends on whether they release it to you guys. I did my part, guys.
Yeah, you did your
part. Amazing track. But, they haven't released it. But for the ones that are out there, I will say that I really liked, I made a beat for Indapol Sandu.
Okay.
The track called Compromise.
Big track.
Yeah, it kind of has an 80s vibe to it. Yeah. So I really like that because I grew up listening to 80s music a lot.
Yeah.
So, my dad, we cassette tapes, guys. I don't know if you know about them, but showing my age. But so I grew up listening to a lot of 80s music, and I really liked the vibe that I was able to create on that track.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I know you like play piano as well. So how long have you been doing that for?
Very young. It started with a secondhand organ.
As we all do.
Yeah. Just naturally, secondhand organ in the flat. Don't know why it was there, but it was. And so my dad taught me my first few chords on there, and then I think I started to get lessons maybe around 12, but I just have always been like messing around and playing with it since I was young.
So obviously, because you've played the piano and you're a producer, the piano plays a big part in like the music you produce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are there any other instruments you play?
There are, yes. So I played the violin.
Oh wow!
For a while.
Yeah.
I started playing the violin when I was 6, and sometimes I argue that was my first official instrument because I got lessons for violin first before I got lessons for piano. So I did really enjoy playing the violin. I do want to get back into it. I don't have any violins at the minute, but I really enjoyed it. I played it for a while, and as you get older, just priorities changed. So yeah.
I mean, obviously today we brought you in here because you released your new track called Power.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit, but I want to give the guys a chance to hear the track. Get a little feel for it. I'm not going to play it all for you guys because, like I say, I want you guys to stream and download it. So you're not going to get it all here. I'm going to give you maybe about a minute and a half, but stream and download it. Let's check it out with them. Let's grab the headphones and get these guys a little taste of this Essie B track called Power. I'm really feeling it.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, no, trust me, the track is a big track, man. So I want to give these guys a little taste and let them see what he's saying, man.
All right.
And all the
there's me starting it like halfway through. Let's rewind the track. I love the intro, the way it comes in with like a powerful kind of dialogue.
Yeah.
Love and power to all my black people who've been oppressed and marginalized for centuries. Told discolored white lies about our royal identity.
This is Rochelle Leroux, spoken word artist.
And all the silence
very good friend of mine.
She's very good.
Because Yeshua came to release the captives, to let the oppressed go free.
We don't fight in the flesh, whether you're black or white. Cause skin color is not where demons reside. Strapped with the word of God.
This is excellent.
No, we don't compromise. Back my black people in prayer. Now watch the kingdom ride. Fair enough, making noise and protesting now is right, but racism will be the captain of your ship if you're drowning in Christ. Sin's been around for time, so I don't believe the media lies. Trust in God, confess you aren't oppressed. 1 Peter 2 verse 9.
You can call me an ally, cause truly I'm human. Please tell me how can I redeem.
Yeah, this is Kate.
I recognize Kate.
For the color of skin, they say all lives matter to be rubbing it in because everybody counts, but not everyone's a target. Some face drama, but never wanna start it. Black history is everybody's history. Adam and Eve in the garden's what it is to me.
Who's singing this chorus?
Lavina. Yeah.
Artists on this track, man.
Yeah, they are. They're all amazing.
Yeah. Tired of the lies, tired of the fight, tired of
I'm enjoying the track so much. I was almost going to give you guys the whole track. But seriously, the track is a big one. Make sure you guys are going and streaming it. Spotify, iTunes, it's out there right now. Make sure you check it on all those platforms, man. It's a big track called Power. So let's talk about the track then. Firstly, I want to go a little bit deep. So obviously, I read your little, description about what the track's about and stuff like that. So I know that it was inspired by the George Floyd incident.
It was, yeah.
So how did that affect you? That in the way that it led to this kind of track?
So when that happened, it was really,
Probably take off these headphones as well.
Oh yeah, we can. So yeah, when that happened, it was almost like a slightly like on one side a numb feeling because it's like, oh well, this has happened before.
Yeah.
But on the other side, it was like another shock upon another shock because now this was like graphic in a way, and it was recorded by so many people. So many people witnessed it. And it was happening live.
Yeah.
And it was just like crazy to think about. Crazy to think that this was actually happening live and no one could stop it. No one could prevent this happening. And the very people that you would have thought would prevent it from happening were the ones causing it.
Yeah.
And that was just so tragic, so sad to watch, to witness. Even if we as the world witnessed it after the people who were actually there, it felt like you were there because every time someone was viewing that video, you could feel it. You weren't just watching it, you could feel like the sadness, the tragedy actually happening at that very point. And
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, obviously, being people, black people ourselves, I was saying, we would have gone through some, form of racism, whether it be through something someone said, even down to that stare or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But I think what really shocked me was when you're watching what happened with George Floyd, it was because the incident firstly happened to the point of death.
Yeah.
I was saying, which took it to another extreme. And then again, like you're saying, it was on pretty much every channel and everything like that. So the visuals like right in front of you, and it just brought home, even though we'll go about our business in London, do whatever we're doing, but it kind of brings home that there's still so much going on, and whatnot. And I thought one thing I liked about your track is I still feel that regardless of how, I think it's like 2 years, is it 2 years now, or was it last year? I can't remember now the exact date.
Yeah.
But your track is still very relevant now because people are still talking about it. There's still things happening as a result of that. So like, for example, in football, people are still taking a knee. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but I've definitely noticed that there's a lot more like black people on TV now.
Oh my
Adverts
gosh.
and everything else. It just
That
like
was
took
another
out.
thing. As soon as the George Floyd event happened, you saw the world in uproar. Now, don't get me wrong, that was actually kind of beautiful to see.
Yeah.
But the influx of black people within adverts was way, way obvious.
And it
Very
was like,
obvious.
we've been here from time. So what's
We've been here.
We've been
so
here.
like, what's good? Oh, you just loaded us down.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that was the thing for me, is that I'm seeing all these adverts, and I'm one of them people, I've been saying it for years. Any black people do anything good, I like to see that. I like to see black people succeed.
Yeah.
But I almost felt like they were pushing it down my throat because this thing happened. I'm like, so if this didn't happen, where would we be? Would you be doing this?
Well, this is the thing.
It was hard to differentiate, like, are you doing this because you generally want to do it, or are you doing it because you don't want to be seen as the only company not doing it when everybody else is doing it? But I could talk about this for ages. I'm not going to get into it here. Right? We're talking about Essie track Power.
It's deep.
It's deep. So obviously, like, that was the inspiration behind the track. But what was the vision in terms of what message are you trying to get out to people? And even to the fact that you've obviously brought down 8 artists to feature on the track.
Yes.
So what was the vision behind the track and getting those artists to feature on it?
So initially, the first thing that came to mind, I made this beat like way before I started trying to do this project.
Yeah.
And you know, just like you said, when I heard the intro and just the way the beat sounded, it just sounded so powerful on its own. It felt like, if I'm gonna do anything with this track, I needed to have an important message on this track. I just didn't know exactly what that important message would be. And initially I was thinking, you know, well, maybe knife crime, because it's so prevalent and it's still something that we're tackling today, you know, and but eventually, I guess just a few months after the George Floyd incident happened, I was listening to that instrumental again, and it just dawned on me. I thought, oh my gosh, like, what if this is the message that needed to be on this track? But I also realized, I thought to myself, you know what, that it's easy to, I guess, get a black artist to talk about it, and, you know, to be all maybe upset about it, and you know, say how you feel on the track, but I wanted to expand it and extend it to all races and all cultures. So I did purposefully make this a multicultural track, that despite the fact that it might be talking about, you know, Black Lives Matter, and just, you know, the social injustice that happens towards black people, I wanted to show that we do have allies. There are people outside the culture that do understand what we're going through, and that it's not a black people problem, it's a human race problem. And you know, that's it's not a black people problem, it's a human race problem. And you know, we just need to all come together as one. We need to be united. We need to actually spread love rather than hate. And this, for me, was just another track to be able to add to the conversation, you know, and just to show a different side, because I'm sure, as you know, there's lots of tracks that talk about this in so many ways, but I don't know if there's ever been a multicultural track that shows different
I definitely haven't heard it. I mean, over the years, different incidents happen, and you'll get the various companies dropping tracks like "We Are the World," where you get this thing, but it wasn't the same kind of thing. And like you said, what I really liked about your track is because I can't think of any, like you said, which coming with that kind of powerful message, but making the track very multicultural in terms of the artists that featured on it, where their background and all that kind of stuff. So it was nice to see that, because like you said, sometimes we can get caught up in the thing that only black people are outraged by what's going on. So it's nice to see, like you said, we have allies, we have other people from other cultures which are also outraged by that kind of thing. And I think you definitely pulled that off in a song in terms of the message that you was bringing out there. But I want to ask this question: how hard was it to get all the artists together to be? Because I'm thinking, I'm a producer and I'm wanting all these people to come together. Especially if they're not even all in London. You know what I'm saying? It's like having to wait on people to do this and that. It's like, how did that go? Having these conversations and getting everybody to do their part?
Oh, well, you know what? Like, God is good. God is good. It definitely wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, this took a long time, guys. Like, this took 2 years to get done, to be honest. I don't know if I should have said that, but it's out there now. So, but yeah, it took a while. Considering that this track got started in the pandemic, so already on top of the whole, you know, uproar with the George Floyd, the pandemic is already going, COVID-19. You know, you're not allowed to meet up with anybody. You're not really allowed to, you know, be within 2 meters of each other. It was very difficult. And already on top of that, you know, not everyone's in London where I'm based. So it was difficult, but you know, I just really chalk it up to the artists, at least, you know, the fact that they said yes to the project, because they definitely could have said no. It's a touchy subject. It's hard to talk about, but I really, you know, thank God that they saw the bigger picture. They saw the vision that I was trying to pull off. And it just, you know, different ways. So it was sometimes, you know, when the COVID, when the pandemic eased up a little bit more, and then you could meet in groups of 6 and that kind of thing. There were a few artists who were based in London who would come down to the studio where I could record them. Other artists had their own equipment, so they recorded their verses at home. They sent it to me.
So it's a whole long process, isn't it?
It
Just
was.
like gathering it and putting it together and all that stuff.
Putting it together, seeing where everyone fits. I was giving them timestamps. Okay, you're going to take this. This is your 8 bars. You go here. You go there. Can you send me some backing vocals, by the way? I want to add it to the chorus.
Gosh. It's so much easier when you can just have someone come to the studio or whatever else, isn't it?
It is. It is. But, you know, thank God for technology.
For real.
You know, everyone caught up on Zoom. You know, I definitely tried as well to get all the artists together on Zoom, because not everyone's met in person. You know, it was good. We had a really nice chat, a really nice conversation about it, just how everyone felt, you know, and everyone's in different life stages as well. So obviously life can get in the way, but you know, it, you know, it all came together in the end, and God's timing is best. That's what I put it down to.
And one thing I will say, guys, which I didn't mention, was that this is her first like fully released track. So in a way, it's kind of your debut. I know it's not exactly your debut because you did a couple stuff on SoundCloud, but in terms of going out to the public fully like iTunes, Spotify, the whole lot, this is your first one.
This is my first one.
So how did it feel knowing that I've done this project and finally it's out there?
Wow, I definitely felt like it was a strange feeling, because this is something I've definitely been trying to do for a while, and I didn't expect it to be this particular track. You know, like there's other tracks I could have probably come out with first, but this one just ended up being the first fully fledged release track, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that you know, it's getting a good response at the minute, and just grateful to the artists again who said yes, and just everyone who was able to like really hear our hearts in the track and receive it positively, because that's one thing I wanted to make sure, is that this track is not to bash anyone you know, bash any race in particular, but it was just shedding light on a topic that we all know is happening and is prevalent, and just saying, you know, from a faith perspective that, you know, we see it and we're not ignoring it. And I think sometimes, you know, as the body of Christ and as believers, you know, we should talk about these things.
100%.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that there's also a music video out with it as well, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
So like, tell us about the music video, and especially why you chose to go down that particular route, because it's not the kind of, if I say music video now, people automatically have a vision probably in their head in terms of what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you actually went down a completely different route, and it's like an animated video.
It's an animated video.
So why did you choose to go down that particular route? And again, what was it like putting that together?
Yeah, that was another process I had to go through. But, you know, shout out to Mark Gaturuku, who is the animator, and Andrew Pettigrew, who's the illustrator of the animation music video. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope I didn't make them pull their hairs out too much, because I did have a lot of demands and requests. But thank you for meeting them. And the reason why I went down the animation route, like, so originally It's funny because I wasn't planning to do a music video.
Okay.
It was just going to be audio. But then a good friend of yours called Charles Celestin said, no, you can't just do a music. You can't just
That sounds like
put
Charles.
it out.
That
You
sounds
need
like
a music video. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that caused the project to kind of take longer because I was thinking, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Not everyone's in the UK. I mean, not in the UK. Not everyone's in London.
Yeah.
And also we are in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So again, that was like, okay, to get everyone in the video, because I really wanted everyone to be in the video. I thought, all right, let's do an animation video, draw everyone up as characters, and that way everyone can be in the video, because not everyone can travel down to London, and I couldn't travel down to everywhere where everyone was, you know, because I think even one of the artists on the track is from Bristol. So, you know, I had to figure out, you know, what was the best possible way to have everyone in the video, and animation was the choice.
No, it worked well, man. Like the video got released, guys, on the same day as the track, so you can actually go to YouTube now, check that out. You can share it on your social medias as well if you want to help spread the word about that. But yeah, I mean, I felt that obviously I heard the track the first time and I really loved it. And then one thing I like about music videos, they kind of add a new dimension to the track. They're saying they give it a next birth of life, because you can actually hear the track and see things on the screen. So I really liked that about it.
That's good. It's good to hear.
So then, now that we've got the Essie B one out, are we going to expect, I mean, I'm just thinking along the lines of, okay, she's a producer, she's working with lots of artists, all that kind of stuff. Is there any kind of like EP album that's going to come? An Essie B album?
An Essie B album. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I think a lot of different things is going to come from me. One thing I love about music, there's no rules. So, you know, stay tuned for what I'm going to put out next. I think there will definitely be more collabs. Because I'm happy, like, this was a successful collab. So I really do want to collab more. So if you want to collab with me, hit me up. That would be great. But yeah, so more collabs and more singles out first. And then, possibly an instrumental EP. Or maybe even my own EP. You might catch me singing, maybe. So, yeah.
And I'm going to just kind of do like a little, like, show self for you guys, because obviously she's a producer. You got tracks that you can produce on your website as well that people can listen to?
My website is not fully fledged at the minute.
Okay.
It looks more like a beat store, to be fair. If you want to buy beats though, feel free. But most likely on YouTube, like all the tracks I've produced are definitely there. And if you go to my Instagram, you can definitely see the tracks that I've produced.
Well, it's funny because when I mentioned the website, I actually was talking more about the beats. So if artists want to like connect with you to say, you know what, I'm looking for a beat for a track, they can hit your website, check it out.
Definitely. Cool.
So there you go. If you're an artist, you're looking for beats, look onto her website. And even if you don't find something on your website that hits your flavor, holler at her. I'm sure she's more than happy to put something together for you.
I am. Holler at me.
So like you were saying, you obviously got some stuff coming up. Is there anything that we need to be looking out for, like, anytime soon?
Yeah. You can look out. Do you know what? Let me shout out Aaron Parich, because I'm featured on one of his tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that's coming out soon, and we're planning to do a few live sets. It's getting me to do some live sets, guys.
Gosh.
So so you might catch me singing sooner than you think.
Wow. Okay. So you get to see Essie B in a completely different element. But I'll be looking out for that, definitely. Essie, where can they find you online?
Online, you can find me at Essie B Music on all social media platforms. It's not SEB. I know it sounds like that, but it's ESSIE B Music. Essie B Music on everywhere.
There you go, guys. So if you want to check out what she's doing in terms of music she's produced already for artists, or even if you want to go and get some beats done, head over to her website, sebmusic.com, is it?
Yeah.
SEB Music. See, I know my stuff.
You do.
sebmusic.com, or check her out, SEB Music, on social media. Definitely make sure you're following her and checking out all stuff. Definitely download and stream the new track, Power. Like I said, featuring 8 artists. You guys got a little taste of it today, but you want to get the full flavor, hear what every artist brought to the track. So definitely make sure that you're going to stream that one. Essie, it's been such a privilege having you today, man.
I feel privileged. Thank you
Listen,
so much.
I said to you when you first came that I feel like this is long overdue. I've been waiting for Essie B release. So it's here now. You're here now. I'm glad for it, man. But yeah, definitely. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
No worries, man. No worries. And guys, this has been In The Mix with Essie B and Marx. Make sure you tune in next week for the next interview. Later.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.